Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 16, Text number 9. Esham bibharmi aham akanda vikunta yoga. Esham bibharmi aham akanda vikunta yoga. Maya vibhutihi amala angrirajaha kiritaihi. Maya vibhutiramalangriraja kiritaihi. Vipram tu kaha na vishaheta yad arhanambaha. Vipramstu ko na vishaheta yad arhanambaha. Sadyaha punati saha chandralalama lokan. Sadya punati saha chandralalama lokan. Yesham bibarbiyaham akanda vikunta yoga. Maya vibhuti ramalangri rajah kiritai. Vipramstu ko na vishaheta yadarhanamba. Sadya punati saha chandra lalama lokan. Esham bibarmi aham akanda vikunta yoga. Maya vibhuti ramalangri rajah kiritai. Vipramstu ko na vishaheta yadarhanamba. Sadya punati saha chandra lalama lokan. Esham, of the Brahmanas, Bibharmi, I bear, Aham, I, Akanda, unbroken, Vikunta, unobstructed, Yogamaya, internal energy, Vibhutihi, opulence, Amala, pure, Angri, of the feet, Rajaha, the dust, Kiritaihi, on my helmet, Vipran, the Brahmanas, Tu, then, Kaha, who, Na, not, Vishaheta, carry, Yat, of the Supreme Lord, Arhanambaha, water which has washed the feet, Sadyaha, at once, Punati, sanctifies, Saha, along with Chandralalama, Lord Śiva, Lokan, the three worlds. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. I am the master of my unobstructed internal energy, and the water of Ganges is the remnant left after my feet are washed. That water sanctifies the three worlds along with Lord Śiva, who bears it on his head. If I can take the dust of the feet of the Vaiṣṇava on my head, who will refuse to do the same? Please repeat the translation. I am the master of my unobstructed internal energy, and the water of the Ganges is the remnant left after my feet are washed. That water sanctifies the three worlds along with Lord Śiva, who bears it on his head. If I can take the dust of the feet of the Vaiṣṇava on my head, who will refuse to do the same? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The difference between the internal and external energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is that in the internal energy or in the spiritual world, all the appearances are undisturbed, whereas in the external or material energy, all the appearances are temporary manifestation. The Lord's supremacy is equal in both the spiritual and material worlds, but the spiritual world is called the kingdom of God and the material world is called the kingdom of Maya. Maya refers to that which is not actually fact. The appearance of the material world is a reflection. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that this material world is just like a tree whose roots are up and branches down. This means that the material world is the shadow of the spiritual world. Real appearance is in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, the predominating deity is the Lord himself, whereas in the material world, there are many lords. That is the difference between the internal and external energies. The Lord says that although he is the predominating factor of the internal energy, and although the material world is sanctified just by the water that has washed his feet, he has the greatest respect for the Brahmanas and Vaiṣṇavas. When the Lord himself offers so much respect to the Vaiṣṇava and the Brahmana, how can one deny such respect to other personalities? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshuram militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutal Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So in this verse he is saying, Esham Bibarmyaham Akanta Vikunda Yoga Maya Vibhuti. Esham Bibarmyaham. Esham, of those Brahmanas, Bibarmi, I bear on mine. I am Aham Akanda Vikunta Yoga Maya Vibhuti. I am celebrated with unobstructed, unparalleled internal potential. Vikunta Yoga Maya Vibhuti. So it is an opulence, my opulence, which is unobstructed, unbroken. Akanda Vikunta. My potency is internal potency, nobody can understand. So special I am. And I am the celebrated master of my internal potency. Amalangri Raja Kiritaihi. Aham Yesham Bibarbi Aham Angala Amalangri Raja Kiritai. Amala Angri Rajaha. Rajaha means the dust of the feet of a Vaiṣṇava. Amala means which is very pure. Kiritaihi means Yesham Aham Bibarmi Amalangra Raja Kiritaihi. Lord is saying, I will take the dust of the feet of my devotee and I put it on my hand. Even though I am the Supreme Lord of Vaikunta, spiritual world, Akanda Vikunta Yoga Maya Vibhutihi, even though I am the master of the spiritual world, still I accept the dust of the feet of my devotee on my head. Vipramstu Kona Vishaheta Yad Arhanambaha. That Vipra, who is so great? Kona Vishaheta, who will not do it? If I do it, who will not do it? Yad Arhanambaha, that water which has washed my feet. Sadhyah Punati Sahachandra Lalama Lokan. Sadhyah Punati, it immediately purifies. Sahachandra Lalama means Lord Shiva, who has a crescent moon on his head as a decoration. Crescent moon means third day or fourth day of moon, it will be only a small line, small shape. That is called as crescent moon. That is a decoration on Lord Shiva's head. That's why it's known as Chandra Lalama. On his forehead, it is decoration of that moon. This is called as crescent moon. Sahachandra Lalama Lokan, along with all the lokas, three loka. That water purifies all the 14 planetary systems, not only Lord Shiva. So he says, I am the master of my unobstructed internal energy. Akanta Vikunta Yoga Maya Vibhutihi. And the water of the Ganges is the remnant left after my feet are washed. Yad Arhanambaha. That water sanctifies the three worlds. Sadhyah Punati Lokan. Along with Lord Shiva who bears it on his head. Yad Sahachandra Lalama. If I can take the dust of the feet of the Vaiṣṇava on my head, Yesham Bibarmi Aham Amalangri Rajak Kiritaihi, who will refuse to do the same? Kona Vishaheta. So if I give so much glorification of my devotee, because everybody follows my footsteps, who will not follow, who will not respect that, the dust of the feet of a Vaiṣṇava? So Lord is giving this opportunity to celebrate the glories of a Vaiṣṇava. How great they are. Lord is saying, I carry them on my head. The dust of their feet I carry on my head. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, the Lord has the greatest respect for the Brahmana and Vaiṣṇava. When the Lord himself offers so much respect to the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, how can one deny such respect to such personalities? So Lord is setting an example. The third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yadyad acharati shreshtas tattateve tarojana sayat pramanam kurte lokasad anuvartate. Whatever the Shrestha does, yadyad acharati shreshtaha, what is the next line? Sayat yadyad acharati shreshtas tattateva tarojana. Whatever the best man performs, common men follow. Sayat pramanam kurte, what a standard he sets. Lokasad anuvartate, people will imitate that. So Lord is setting a standard, how to respect his devotees. Why? Because they take so much risk in this material world in the propagation of the holy name of the Lord. Because this world is Maya Prapancha. Nobody wants to accept the subordination of somebody. That's why the difference between material world and spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is only one Lord. Everybody are his servants. In the material world, everybody is Lord. Nobody wants to be servant. So to convince a mentality that they are actually not the master, but they are actually a servant, is the greatest challenge. And the pure devotees of the Lord take this challenge and execute the mission of the Lord in convincing people to surrender to the Lord. Because they risk all their lives and all their energies and all their resources in the service of the Lord, they become very dear to the Lord. That's what is communicated. That's why after finishing Bhagavad Gita also, in the last 18 chapter, 18.69, what does Krishna say? Those who preach my glories. Yaidam paramam guhyam madbhakteshu abhadashyati bhaktim mayi param krutva mame vashyasa samshaya. Yaidam paramam guhyam. This paramam guhyam, the most confidential knowledge. Madbhakteshu abhidashyati, one who preaches among my devotees. Bhaktim mayi param krutva, and he will attain devotional service unto me, which is guaranteed. Param krutva, it is guaranteed. And mame vashyasa samshaya, after that he will reach back to me. Asamshaya, of this there is no doubt. That is a guarantee, assurance Krishna is saying. If you discuss this transcendental knowledge, what I have spoken, my devotees, when they discuss with other people, they will also become serious and fixed up in devotional service. And once this is done, they will come back home, back to God. And next Krishna says, Nachatasman manusheshu kashin me priya kruttamaha. Bhavita nachame tasmad anyaha priyataro bhavi. There is no one as dear to me as that person who had preached my glories around the world. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever one more dear, because they have taken this risk of glorifying the Lord at every place, at every opportunity. That's why Krishna gives them the highest respect and he says they are very dear to me. So, in Prabhupada in one place also explains about the devotional service. So, in one context wise, Krishna tests his devotees. When Krishna was in Dwaraka, he exhibited this pastime as Jwara Leela. Means he had a fever and a severe headache. And so many medicines and so many doctors came, they tried to cure, but nothing is happening. So everybody were wondering, how can Lord be treated? So he is the master, only he knows what is his medicine. So when they tried, they went to the Lord, Narada Muni came and he only went to the Lord and he requested, my dear Lord, we are not able to find any material solution to this because yours is spiritual headache. Materially there is no medicine for this. So only you should suggest us how to cure you. The Lord said, if you can give me the dust of the feet of a devotee, if I apply to my head, then that is the only medicine that can bring down my headache. So the Narada Muni thought, in Dwaraka it is full of so many devotees, the queens herself are there, so many queens are there here. The Lord's personal associates and the greatest devotees. So they went, Narada Muni went to each queen and he started asking, give me the dust, because Krishna is having headache, this is the medicine. The dust of your feet. The queens were saying, no, we cannot give you. If we give the dust to the Lord and if he keep places on his head, we will go to hell. We don't want to commit that offense. Because that is an aparad. So Narada Muni was roaming everywhere, every door, every corner, but nobody was ready to give. Then he started visiting all celebrated devotees everywhere, across the three worlds. Whomever you have been identified as great personalities, he went and requested, but nobody were ready to give. Finally, he came back to Krishna and updated the situation. Then Krishna said, go to Vrindavan. Then Narada Muni went to Vrindavan. As soon as the gopis saw Narada Muni, they asked him how Krishna is, because you have been going everywhere. So you would have met Krishna, you would have got the details about Krishna, how he is. Narada Muni said, Krishna is not feeling well. He has severe headache and fever. So then why are you here? You should have gone there and to serve him. No, Krishna, there is no medicine. The only medicine is the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee. All the gopis said, how much you want? Come on. Pack up, so many bags. Every gopi said, pack up, so much bags were filled up. Then Narada Muni asked, are you not afraid that you will go to hell? If Krishna is happy, if Krishna is well and taken care, we are not bothered. Wherever we are, service of Krishna has to happen. Happiness of Krishna is very important to us. We are not bothered whether it is hell or heaven. So Krishna said, when Narada Muni came back and he gave that dust, that headache and fever has vanished, and Krishna started glorifying devotion of the gopis. They are the highest. Pure bhakti with no material consideration. When material considerations are there, Aishwarya Bhava is there, we start refraining from the service of the Lord with some obstacles will be there. When it is simple, pure devotional service, Kevala Bhakti, there are no obstacles. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in that context, Madhura Rasa Bhakta Mukhya Vraje Gopi Gana Mahishi Gana Lakshmi Gana Asankhya Ganana. In Madhurya Rasa, in conjugal love, there are many devotees. Mukhyaha, or the primary people are Vraje Gopi Gana, the gopis of Vrindavana. Then Mahishi Gana, the queens were there. Lakshmi Gana, the Vaikuntha Lakshmis are there. And Asankhya Ganana, and there are many unlimited numbers on this category. Puna Krishna Rati Hoya Dvita Prakara Aishwarya Jnana Mishra Kevala Bhedar. Attachment to Krishna is also of two categories. Aishwarya Jnana Mishra, which is mixed with knowledge on veneration, attachment with on veneration. And one is Kevala Bheda Ara. And one is pure attachment without reverence. You can see this difference in Krishna Leela. Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj treatment to Krishna, Vasudeva Devaki treatments to Krishna. When Nanda Maharaj was asking Krishna to carry his footwear, Krishna was carrying on his head. And Yashoda Mata holds a stick, Krishna will run away. He will be running behind Yashoda Mata. But Vasudeva Devaki, they saw Krishna as the Supreme Lord in Vaikuntha feature, four-armed form first. Then they saw him as a normal baby. When Kamsa was killed and Krishna and Balarama came forward and paid obeisances to Vasudeva and Devaki, they were actually confused what to do. The Supreme Lord Narayana, he is coming and paying obeisances. A Vishnu form, Vasudeva form, Shri Radha Govinda. Or our dear son Krishna is coming and paying obeisances. They were confused. That Aishwarya Jnana, because they saw the opulence form of the Lord, it is obstructing in their devotion service, in their relationship with the Lord. Again, Krishna with his Yoga Maya covered up their consciousness, then they started feeling, oh my son, oh my son. So this is the difference. Kevala Bhakti, Aishwarya Jnana Mishra Bhakti. These are the two perspectives what are available. Gokule Kevala Rati, Aishwarya Jnana Hina. In Vrindavana and Gokula, there is only pure devotional service. Kevala Bhakti, without on veneration. Aishwarya Jnana Hina. Nobody in Vrindavan say Krishna is a king. They say he is a cowherd boy. He is one among us, they say. Puri Dvaye Vaikuntadhye Aishwarya Pravina. Puri Dvaye, in Dwarkapuri and Mathurapuri, Vaikuntadhye, in Vaikunta, Aishwarya Pravina. The opulence is given more prominence. In Vrindavan, do you see Krishna decorated with any ornaments or anything and all? His ornaments are flower garlands. And his decorations on his body are mountain colors. So naturally, flower garlands, leaves, all these things were decoration of the crowns and all these things and all. But other side in Mathura or in Vrindavana, he is full opulently decorated. Aishwarya Jnana Pradhanye Sankuchita Preeti Dekiya Namane Aishwarya Kevala Riti. When Aishwarya Jnana Pradhane, when opulence is very prominent, Sankuchita Preeti, the love of Godhead is somewhat crippled. Dekiya Namane Aishwarya Kevalara Riti. According to Kevala devotion, even though the devotee sees the unlimited potency of Krishna, he considers himself equal to him. Mother Yashoda saw the universal form in the mouth of the Lord, but she did not treat him something special. She said, oh my boy, she said. She never said, you are so opulent. She started worshipping him. She never started worshipping him. That relationship was never disturbed. Even though every day Krishna was killing various demons by showing all his potency, the boys used to say, you are one among us. What is so special? You know one circumstance, when Krishna lifted Govardhana hill. Krishna was holding Govardhana hill on his little finger. And all the cowherd people and boys were holding the Govardhana hill on their sticks. At one particular point, Krishna says, now please go all of you, this hill is going to come down. The other associates, the people who are all holding the sticks, they say, are you foolish or what? It is standing on our sticks, not on your finger. You go out first, they say. See, they are understanding. They are thinking that you are a small bacha in front of us. That is that pure devotion, Kevala Bhakti. So Lord is so much attached towards his devotees, that devotees who have completely no discrimination, no information about his supremacy. Even though you show the supremacy, they are not bothered. In one context wise, when Krishna was with all the gopis and all, he wanted to play a prank. He suddenly transformed himself into Narayana future. All the gopis came, did namaskara and went away. They did not bother for him. Because they were only in that mood of Lord Krishna. They were not in the mood of Narayana future also. So that's that pure devotion. So who are these pure devotees? What are their qualifications? What are their characteristics? Shastras have explained that pure devotees' qualifications. Trunashayya rato bhakto mannama gunakirtishu. So Trunashayya rataha, always they sleep on straw mats. Mano niveshaya, they engage their minds in glorifying Mannama Guna Kirtanat. They always continuously glorify about the Lord. Mannama Guna Kirtanat. Then Dhyayate mat padabjam cha pujayet bhakti bhavataha. They always meditate me, Dhyayate, bhakti bhavabhyam, in pure bhakti. And pujayet bhakti bhavataha. And they worship me within their heart, the lotus feet of mine, they worship in their heart. Sarva siddham na vanchanti te animadikam ipshitam. They do not desire any opulences like magic powers or anything, anima, lagima, siddhi, nothing of this category. They are not interested in any siddhim. Brahmatvam, amaratvam va, suratvam, sukha karanam. They are not happy, hankering for either position of Brahma or Indra or some demigod or in the heavenly planet. Nothing they are aspiring for any of these positions, which are all highest category of happiness, which people are hankering for. Sukha karanat. Dasyam vina na hinchanti salokyadi chatustayam. Except my devotional service, they are not even hankering to have any of this 4 opulences, like living in the same planet, having the same opulence of the Lord, that Salokya, Samipya, Sarishti. In none of these opulences they are not interested. They are only interested in my service. Dasyam vina. Naeva nirvana muktim cha sudapanam abhipsitam. They do not want liberation. They do not want nirvana. They do not want the nectar also. Nothing they are wanting. Vanchanti nishyalam bhaktim madiyam atulam api. They only pray for uncomparable and undeviating devotion service at my lotus feet. Vanchanti nishyala bhaktim. They only want pure unalloyed devotional service. Stripum vibodo nasti evam. They do not discriminate between male and female. Sarva jiveshu abhinnata. And they treat all living entities equally. Kshut pipasa adikam nidram loba mohadikam ripum tektva. They do not differentiate between hunger, thirst, none of these symptoms, enemy, friend, neutral, none of these discriminations they exhibit. Digambaraha, they go without clothing. Diva nisham mamcha dhyayate. Day and night they only meditate upon me. And bhakto tektva samsara sukha karanam. They give up all the sources of material pleasure in this world. In this way, my pure devotees survive in this world. So these are the qualifications, that pure devotees, who do not hanker for any material pleasures and simply only for the service of the Lord, they only pray unalloyed devotion service to the Lord. So this category, then you say, these birthright brahmanas or anybody? The Lord gave example in various places. He says, Arayeka swabhava gaurera suna bhaktagana. This is one more characteristics of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please hear. Aishwarya swabhava gudakare prakatana. Listen carefully to how he manifests his opulences and characteristics, although they are exceptionally deep. Sannyasi pandita ganera karite garvanasha, nicha shudra dwara karena dharmera prakasha. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, he was in Kashi. All the sannyasis, that Prabodhana, Prakashananda Saraswati with 60,000 people, all his sannyasi dissociates, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put their ahankara down to pieces. But again, he glorified through Ramananda Raya, who was from a Shudra background, that you are greater than me. Lord became the student and accepted knowledge from Ramananda Raya. Bhakti prema tattva kahe raya kari vakta apani pradyumna mishra saha hoyar shrota. So about devotional service, about love of Godhead, about absolute truth, Kahe Raya Kari Vakta. Ramananda Raya became the speaker. Apani Padyamna Mishra Saha Hoya Shrota. Pradyamna Mishra and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became the audience and they became the students to hear that information. Haridasa Dwara Nama Mahatmya Prakasha. Through Haridas Thakura, he propagated the glories of the holy name. Sanatana Dwara Bhakti Siddhanta Vilasa. Through Sanatana Goswami, he had established the principles of devotion service. Shri Rupa Dwara Vrajera Prema Rasalila. Prema Rasalila. Through Sri Rupa Goswami, he propagated the loving mellows of Vrindavana, Vrajalila. Ki bujite pare gambira chaitanya kela. Who can understand these confidential aspects of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So he chosen different people for different aspects. So in that way, he was giving more prominence to his devotees than himself. He empowered his devotees to preach and he glorified the devotees also personally. So that is the specialty of the Lord. When the devotee is completely dedicated to the Lord is completely surrendered to the devotee. There is one such pastime we see in the last class continuation. We saw that Tirumalesha Alvar. So he had done, and after finishing meditation everywhere, he came to finally to Kanchipuram. And there he was serving the various deities there. The Varazaraja deity was there. Then this is Bhujaka Shaina Parumal was there. So he was personally serving that deity. Bhujaka Shaina Parumal means the Lord who was sleeping on the lap of Ananta. So he was there and he was in meditation. For 700 years he was in meditation in the temple there. So he was assisted by his dear associate Kanikannan, who was the son of the Shudra couple whom he had blessed them. So under the guidance of Tirumalesha Alvar, he became a great poet. He used to chant various verses, he used to glorify the Lord. So then one old lady, seeing the glories of these devotees, she used to come there. She thought, let me spend my last part of my life by serving the Vaishnavas. So she used to stay in the temple. She used to clean the area where Swamiji used to perform his deity rituals and all. And she used to wash his clothes. She used to help him in preparing all the things for his worship and everything she used to take care. All personal needs she used to take care. So in that way, after 700 years of meditation, when he came out of the meditation, he saw that lady who was serving him in a very simple attitude. He became very much happy by her. And he blessed her and she said, what benediction do you want? Please ask. That lady said, see, in old age I came here. If I would have been young, I would have done better service to you. Then just by his glance, she became the most beautiful lady with very youth age. Like a damsel, like a heavenly damsel. At that particular time, the king of that Chola Desha, who was Pallavaraya, he was going by that area. And as soon as he saw that lady, he became very much fascinated. Love at first sight. He became very much attracted to her. So he immediately came there and he proposed her, would you be my wife? And she also immediately accepted and she went away. And every day, and he was spending so much enjoyment with his wife there. After many years, he became old man with grey hair, all these things and all, but that lady was like as it is. Then he was wondering, what is so special? You are the same young lady, but I am becoming old and old. Then she narrated all the things, what had happened, how she was blessed by the devotee Tirumalesha Alvar. Then he said, how can I get? Then she said, let's see, the servant, the dear disciple of Tirumalesha Alvar every day comes to our asthana to beg from us the daily ingredients, Kanikannan. You can meet him and if he blesses, you can also become young like me. So next day he has been waiting for Kanikannan to come to the asthana. As soon as Kanikannan came, he immediately jumped from his place, went to him, met him there, and he said, my dear sir, please, it's my small request. I want your Guru, Tirumalesha Alvar, to come to our ashram and bless us. Then he said, no, that is not at all possible. My Lord, my master does not care for any of these opulences, royal things, all these things and all. He is happy only in his bhakti and service to the Lord. Then the king, first time he is experiencing no in his life. His ego was hurt. He became very angry. He said, I am the dhata and you are the receiver. You are a beggar. So, I am the king of the state. I am ordering you. Since you are a poet, you glorify me with a verse. Then Kanikandan also started disturbed by the attitude of that king. Then he said, oh, never will my tongue stoop as so low to sing mundane praise. For it will only be blessed when singing of the Lord. Not for mortal flattery was this mouth made, nor can I bribe my mind for any human use. When he said that, king became even more frustrated. Now again he insisted that he should sing his glories. This time Kanikandan sang, who owns a lover's prize except the true beloved? He that drowns one in the supreme grace, that beloved whose deity sits and sometimes stands, and also sleeps, all present in Kanchi's groves. He's saying various personalities who are all there in Kanchipuram, some are standing, some are sitting, some are sleeping, deities are there. So that personality is worthy of glorification. I will not glorify any mundane personality. Then king became very angry. He started scolding him. He started shouting at him, you decry my order, then how dare you stay in my kingdom? I am banishing you from my kingdom. Now go away from here. Don't show your face to me. And he stormed back into his palace. Now Kanikandan, understanding the situation, immediately he went back to his guru, Tirumala Shalvar, and informed the entire scenario, what had happened. And he said, please give me permission because king had ordered me, I cannot stay in this place, I am going out. Then Tirumala Shalvar said, if you are not there, I will not be here. I will also go. Let us go and inform the Lord that we are going away. So both then he went, Tirumala Shalvar went in front of the deity, Bhujagashayana Paramala, and he informed him. So my dear sir, the king of this place has banished Kanikandan, and Kanikandan is like my life and soul, I cannot stay without him. So I am going away. Now I want you also to come, because without you I cannot stay. Now you also fold yourself, wrap yourself, and come with me. And as soon as he offered the prayer, the Lord who was sleeping got up, wrapped up his Ananta Shesha and put it like a thing in his hand, and they started walking. And as soon as Lord started walking, all the Upachara Devatas who are there in the temple, they said, without the Lord, why we are here? They started walking. When all the demigods and all the Lord were walking, then all the saints and rishis who were all there in that kingdom, they said, without the Lord, without devotees, why we can be there? They all started walking. And they all started going away. At one particular point in the afternoon, the king was taking rest. Morning this happened, and afternoon the king was taking rest. Suddenly ministers came and woke him up. The king was furious on them. Why are you disturbing my sleep? What happened? What is so urgent? Said, my dear sir, please come and see outside what is happening. See through the window. As soon as he came out, he saw through the window, there is no light, there is no sun, there is no moon. Everything was fully pitch dark. There was no plant, no water, no tree, nothing was there. Entire area was like smashana. No visibility, nothing. Then he got to know what mistake he had done. Now he understood that I had offended a great devotee. He said, immediately, all of us get up, and they got onto their chariots and they started running. Find out where is Tirumala Shalvar and his devotee Kanikandan. They came steadfast to that place, and they immediately came forward and paid obeisances. And they offered respects, and they said, my dear sir, please forgive me. It's a great mistake happened from our side. I request you to please come back and grace our city. Without you, nothing is there. All the people are suffering. Everything is disturbed. So when he sincerely repented, Lord became very happy. Tirumala Shalvar became very happy. And he informed, my dear Lord, now Kanikandan has been granted to come back to the kingdom. He is going, I am going. Now you also follow me. So similarly, the Lord came back, and when he was sleeping, earlier he was sleeping on his right hand. He changed his position to sleeping on his left hand. So because the Lord was ready to execute the order of the devotee, he became Sonna Vanna Seya Perumal. So whatever he is told, he is ready to do. He became known as Sonna Vanna Seya Perumal or Yatotkari Perumal. Yata Utkari. As instructed, he is ready to do. With these two names, he became very famous. And that place where that they stayed for that one night, Oru Irukkai, that place became famous for that one night stay of the Lord. It is known as Oru Irukkai. So after staying for some time, then Tirumala Alvar, he had a desire to go to Kumbakonam and have darshan of the deity of Arvamudan. So while he was passing on that, traveling on he stopped at a village called Perumpiliyur, where he saw a group of Brahmanas who were reciting Vedas at that particular point. When they all saw Tirumala Alvar, by his external appearance, he was looking like not a Brahmana category, some lower category, and they thought, what is this low-born Shudra doing here? What is he trying to do there? As soon as they thought in their mind, when they tried to continue from the point of chanting where they had left, they forgot everything. They are not able to remember what they have done, what they were chanting or what they are supposed to chant. So then immediately, understanding the situation, Tirumala Alvar picked up one grain which has been husked between his nails. From the paddy, how do you remove the grain? Paddy, you open with your nails that grain, and with that grain he spit it onto the ground like this. He put it onto the ground. As soon as he did that, then all the information, all the knowledge came back to the Brahmanas, and they started reciting what they were doing. So at that particular point, actually they were discussing about a point in Rajasuya Yajna. Yudhishthir Maharaj and Draupadi Devi were there, and the queen was supposed to husk the grains with her nails and remove that grains, which the king has to offer it into the sacrifice. So the same situation, by removing that husk from that grain and put it into the ground like a offering into the sacrifice, Tirumala Alvar brought them back their remembrance, what they had forgotten and what context it was they were chanting. So as soon as they understood that he is a great personality who could understand what we were chanting and what the circumstances were, immediately all that Brahmanas came and paid obeisances and begged forgiveness from Tirumala Alvar. So after doing something, after the circumstances, he went to Kumbakonam, had the darshan of the deity, Arvamudan. So the Lord was in a sleeping posture. Then he went and asked, "My dear Lord, whole day you will be sleeping. Are you not tired? You should take a break sometimes. You should sit up and you should stand. I know you are in Yoga Maya, but still, I think whole day sleeping is not good for you." Like that, he started reciting a verse. When he recited that verse, the Lord started actually getting up from his sleep. Then he understood, what a mistake I have done. Out of my curiosity, I asked the Lord to sleep. Then he said, "My dear Lord, please stop. You be there as it is." That's why you see that Lord Arvamudan in a posture, he is about to get up from sleeping in that posture. And Lord stayed in that position. See, when the devotees are so great in their mood and understanding, the deities which are the personification of the Lord, but they react to the devotee's perspective. So that's what Lord is saying. The devotees are very great. I obey their orders. I glorify them. Who will not glorify them? So Krishna is setting an example here. Lord Vishnu is setting an example here. So we'll see more what are the glories of these devotees in the further verses. Stop here. Any doubts or questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।